Hello guys, welcome to Data Speak. So today is the part 2 of how to highlight maximum and minimum value in your chart. So whether being bar chart, whether being column chart, whether being line chart. So for this video, we'll be using DAX to do that. So in the part 1 of the video, we did it without using DAX function. And with that previous one, there are some limitation in that one. So this one, I want to show you how to use DAX in order to maximize, to indicate your maximum value and your minimum value, just like what you're seeing on the screen right now. But before we proceed to that, I just want to explain to you the importance of highlighting the maximum and minimum value in your chart. So one of the important tells us that it focuses attention on key insight, which is very vital. Focuses attention on key insight. So you don't need your audience to find it difficult for them to know the key insight. So just highlighting the bar, the maximum, the minimum, but already know, okay, this one draws my attention. That means there's something special about this. So that was it. Focus attention on key insight. The second important that simplifies interpretation. Easy. Once you just see the green, is this should be the maximum or the right. So, and it drives decision making. The decision making is that it's easy for you to make decision. Enhance narrative impact. It enhances narrative impact, and it also will support comparative analysis. It supports comparative analysis, and improve retention. It improves retention. So those are the importance of highlighting your maximum and minimum value in your chart. If you're a type of person that loves telling stories with your data, so you need to ought to know how to do what to tell your story with your chart, so that the story and as in the story can tell more about your data without making your audience find it difficult for them to understand what you're trying to explain. So without wasting much of our time, let's go to it. So this is what we're going to want to achieve. So for this part, the DAX I already created the DAX. I'm just going to show you the DAX we're going to use. So let me know. Now, if you check here all measure, now I have the maximum, the max score, the mean score, and I have the sales color, and I have the total sales. So the first thing we did first is for us to get, because this is the data, financial data. So I needed to get what is the total sales, which is the DAX formula. So it simply means just the sum of the financial sale. Now, the next DAX we need to get was to get the maximum. Now, to get the maximum score, the max score, one, we need to put in a variable. So the max score equals to max X, or financial product. This is the dimension which we want to look at, and with the total sales. Now it's going to return to us if the total sales is equal to the max score. If the total sales is equal to the max score, so now which means it's going to do what? Return the max value. Now we do so. To do the mean score, it simply means just copy the same thing. When you copy it, what you just need to change, you just change the mean X here. That's all. So what we did. So which one is var? We just changed the name, and under the before here we have max. What we do is change it to mean, and we change it to mean score. The same thing, and which is going to return. This one is going to return what the minimum value. Then now we need to combine those things to give us a color, how to highlight the color in order for us to highlight the color. That's what we create this another measure called the sales color. The sales color here uses the switch function. The switch function is something like that. It's almost similar with if, nested if. So what does it say? It says switch true. Now, max score when it's equals to 1, give it this color. Then mean score when it's equals to 1, give it this color, or you give it this one. So these are the three DAX function we're going to use to apply in highlighting our maximum and minimum color. Okay, now that we've seen the DAX we're going to be used, so let's move down to our chart. So I'm just going to bring the cluster bar chart. So I'll be looking at the total sales against product. total sales against product. So let me just format this a bit. So for the y-axis, I don't need. Let me just change the simple UI, bold, increase the font size, and let's go to the x-axis. I don't need the value, I don't need the title. I'll go to the data label. It's a data label. So now we have our chart, which is total sales by product. Now I'm going to duplicate this. So on this second one, that's why I'm going to apply the formatting in order for us to highlight the maximum and the minimum bar. So just looking at this now, you find it a bit overwhelmed to, if not because the chart is being arranged in the order of from the highest to the least. So you will find it a bit difficult for you to know which one. And if you use filter to start filter these things, you find that you might not really tell easily as fast to dictate, okay, this is the maximum. So that's what we want to show you here. So now this one, I'm just going to go on the bar, on the column, on the bar. So under the bar category, so you make sure that under the category, make sure that it is all. So which means this condition we're going to apply is going to apply for all the bars. So beside it, we have this FX. We just click on the FX. Now we go to field value. Under the field value, we go to where we write our DAX. So which the DAX we're going to use is a cell color. So I'll click on it. When I click OK, just see what will happen. You see automatic, it highlight. So just looking at the two charts, you can see that the one at the right is easy to understand. So just looking at it, you already know that Pesio is what? The highest, and Paratera is what? The minimum. So let's do some slicer. For example, let me just bring a slicer for the month's name. We'll make it drop down. Okay, so now you can just divide February. You see before what all is past the highest. So when you click on February, you notice that VTT happens to be the highest. Montana happens to be the lowest. So see, that's how I just filter it. You see the highest and the maximum values have been automatically highlighted. So that's what we wanted to achieve for this video. So you can see that in terms of interpretation, it will be very easy for you to interpret the right one and against the left one. So this is how we can highlight our maximum value and minimum value using the DAX function. Once again, let me just show you the DAX function we used. This for the mass score. This was the DAX we used for the mass score that will return if the total sale is equal to the max. Then the mean score, which it will return if the total sale is the lowest. Then we use a switch function to join both of them. Switch function, like I say, is something like nested if. So if this is equal to the max, return this equals to, you return the lowest, and if the colors have been attached to it. So that is all we have for this video. So thank you guys very much, and don't forget to subscribe if today happens to be your first time in this channel. So if you have any chart you want us to work on, if you have anything in terms of Power BI you want me to talk about, don't forget to drop your comment on the comment section. Thank you very much.